Well, Juan has done a great job. He has a very long time fighting for immigrants' rights. Well, I would say my presence comes to play in Rhode Island since 2013 as part of the board member in Ona Oliveville Neighborhood Association. And as he said, the membership in our association declined rapidly, and in a lot of this stress that they were facing, displacements of their homes, and arrests, and legal fees, and so many other things. Suddenly we became the only place they could come, and they were asking us for loans, and they were asking for help in legal services as well. And so we became, I would say, very depressed due to that. At first, a lot of these improvements that we have seen in our neighborhoods, suddenly they just were vanishing. So in 2013, ONA ended up joining forces with many wonderful organizations, Fuerza, and Comité Immigrant, Young with Justice, and a bunch of them, and we decided to create a coalition, Todos Somos Arizona. Through that, in Arizona, it was this was what was happening. The government had created this very discriminatory laws for immigrants. Well, within that coalition, it was very hard to debate because we wanted equality. ONA is for equality, and we perceived the color of our skin shouldn't be an issue. But well, the first bill was introduced, and this bill was hard because it was very specific, creating two different types of societies. There were two different licenses. The ones who were foreign documented had different colors, different shapes, so anyone could tell that person was undocumented, and also that person, it's not that he was going to be maybe targeted as differently, but he was going to. Well, that failed, didn't really happen. And then 14, then we tried again to make another bill, but then the political game started. Then we had two different bills introduced. There were personal issues within the legislation that prevented this to happen. Then that failed. Then 2015 came, and the same thing continued. They were not really able to sit down and same story. It failed. So this year we got kind of early, and we said, well, you guys are sitting in districts that most of them, 80% or even more, are made of immigrants. And one of the things that I noticed that they all fear is to be removed from their seat. And I said, well, I've been here for 6 years now, and I'll see my neighbor, he has 5 children, all of them, they were 10, now they're 16. So next time around, they're gonna be voting, and they're a US citizen, and guess what? They have the power to remove you. And this is something that ONA within the last 2 years has really focused on developing leadership within the youth, the first generation immigrants, and that has been my target. And by doing so, the legislators suddenly, they decided, well, we could put things aside and we could work together for a greater benefit. But not, and the problem has been that we all know this issue within Providence. Those who live in Providence and around Providence proximity, we know that we have a fair decent amount of immigrants here. And we have the same people, legislation in the House and in the Senate. They are the same 11 and 4 that they are aware of this problem. Well, the only difference was that last year, as Governor Raimundo, they reformed, when she was campaigning, she made a promise in Juan's organization's basement church that she was going to pass an executive order in order to give us some time in kind of creating a strategy to create a comprehensive law. But that didn't happen within the first year. And then we started arguing and going forward. And the US is based on contracts, and she made a written contract. She even signed the promise. And so slowly we all felt cheated. And it's just another lie, another campaign lie to gain supporters for those who can vote like me. And so then, well, we had, again, a political issue came again, and then it came to play. And we said, okay, we're gonna take it the way you want, the right way, how they say it. So we put up this new bill that was introduced. We had over 1,000 people the day of the hearing. We provided testimonies. It was 7 hours long, and nothing happened. Still, nothing has happened. We had all our friends who can vote submitted a request to their legislators, and still nothing happens. Now we're going to have the hearing in the Senate, and it's the same story. So it has become we have to play their games, and so did they. It's really stressful to me is when they come and approach me and say, Gasper, we need to talk. You're the one who's running or moving this. I said, it's not me. But this is what we want from you. We want you to create this diversity of faces. We want you to come and bring this youth. We want you to see. And then suddenly they come to our different organizations and they give us these political speeches of equality and all of this. It's something that is very, very stressful and frustrating, because if 1,000 people comes the day of the hearing, around 52 different type of person, economic backgrounds, social backgrounds, are telling you that this is for the benefits of our state and this is the right thing to do, and nothing happens. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on. Even Mayor Lorsa was there, and he was the one who started this, providing his testimony and support for this driver's license. So, well, as we speak now, the bill is going to be May 5th. Yes, 5 de Mayo, I remember. Yes, 5 de Mayo, instead of celebrating 5 de Mayo tortillas and tacos, as everybody knows, oh, we love the Hispanic food. But without driver's licenses, then we will not be able to do deliveries, right? And, yeah, exactly. So, so we're going to have this again on the May 5th, 5. And they want the same story. We want to see how many people can we bring. Bring 1,000, bring more than 1,000, make the house shake. Come on. And then slowly we became their amusement. They want to see how we moved. They want to see how much power they have on us. It should be the other way around. Slowly we're becoming subservience of politicians within the state of Rhode Island. One thing that was very disturbing, and I'll be very open, Mike and I, we be trying to do some of it on this, and I met with some of those who were against, and I asked, you know what, your district is full of immigrants, and the same story, and it's true, the parents, they might vote, but their children will vote. And the surprising answer was, look, Esper, this is you're a very smart man. I'll like you. Let's make a deal. I want to retire in 2 more terms. If you're able to get that bill to the floor, it's a yes. Right? When I retire, then you can come and have my seat. I promise you that. let's work together on this. Well, not a bill, on him to stay 2 more terms. So this is Rhode Island. Unfortunately, we thought, I've been to all these political speeches, and they all talk about equality and just, and how beautiful Rhode Island was created upon the principle of equality and so many other things, which are just fantasies nowadays. We live in a state that is racist, oppressive, and it's not progressive at all, one bit. So, and we have to call it for what it is. We are discriminating. We are all immigrants. Older immigrants, second generation immigrants are discriminating upon the newcomer. And this is what it is. Why? Because that's what they experienced, or their parents experienced when they came here. Italians did, and Irish and Portuguese. Now that they're feeling that power and position that are not to be discriminated, I have the power to discriminate upon the new one. And this is all it is here. There is no other way to put it. We have tried every single trick that we think it might work, that might have these people moved. We have rallied for 3 weeks, non-stop, until someone came and said, okay, we got your message. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to take your little pamphlet and take it to the governor? I do so. So please leave. And this is what's really interesting. Well, one really funny story, I was with some Brown students, and they're all forward. I really like students because they have all this naive, they're young and naive. And we were protesting, or we were rallying that they were presenting the budget from RIDE, the Department of Education. And so when you have all these amendments that say you have the right to assemble, you have the right to speak, you have the right to press, and all of this. So I was with this bunch of Brown students, and all of those rights were removed for them that day. We were dispersed. We were told to sit down and be quiet. And we were told to put our signs down. So Ariel, I said, those are your all amendments that you go and take for granted. Have been stripped out of all of you in the State House. So, and that's the problem. This is what Rhode Island is facing. So while we do not really work on changing those in power, because we have people who've been sitting in those seats for 15, 20 years. Even my own city council, he's been there since 1996. I never met him. No, now I do. But in the last couple months I have met him. Okay, so I think that's all. I'm frustrated on this, you can tell. But hopefully, like Juan said, please call your legislators, senators, to put up a little support, people that you know that might have some sort of influence and power on this. And let's have Rhode Island move forward. So thank you.